Hey, how you doing? It's Driven to Compete, and I want to first thank you for viewing my video and remind you to subscribe if you can. And I just want to take a moment to talk about a topic that I've been wanting to do for some time now. The item in discussion here is the Keltec KSG and the Aguila Mini shells versus a traditional, these happen to be Federal double-aught Buck 12 gauge rounds. So, in the past, it's already been talked about. We already know that you can get 24 of these guys plus one in the chamber, and you can get 14 of these guys plus one in the chamber. But what nobody has taken the time to do is to talk about weight and what that how that impacts the weight of the firearm. So I thought we would start by taking our scale here and weighing a KSG to see what that would weigh. And as you can see here, it's approximately 7 pounds, 13 ounces. Okay, now my scale only goes up to 10 pounds. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to weigh each of the 12 gauge rounds to see what that difference in weight would be. Okay, so I've taken the time to put 14 plus 1 in the chamber, 15 rounds of the Federal, and I'll give you a quick breakdown of what that is. 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch high brass, and they weigh 1 pound, 7.5 ounces. Now we'll change that out and we'll see what the difference is with the Aguila. Okay, so we have the mini shells on the scale, 1 pound, 9.2 ounces, 25 rounds. So the comparison comes out to these numbers right here, which is basically, to put it to you, it's 15 rounds traditional, 9.28 pounds, versus basically 10 additional rounds for a total of 25 for 9.38 or 9.39 pounds. So, not a huge difference to gain 10 rounds. But, here's the question that I have. What if, for weight savings, what if we only put 15 rounds of the Aguila in the gun? Well, that's a good question. Let's go ahead and weigh them out. Okay, so here we are. I've got 15 rounds, and it comes out to 15.1 ounces. Okay, so why would we look at these numbers? Well, here's my thought process, and we're gonna look at these right now. First, we'll start at the top. Again, 9.28 pounds for a fully loaded KSG with the traditional 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch round. Here we are with every maximum capacity of the Aguila, 25 rounds in a KSG fully loaded, including in the chamber, 9.39 pounds. Okay, and then we looked at this last one, which is a comparison of how does it look with the 15 rounds of the Aguila. Well, it's 8.77 pounds, basically, for 15 rounds. Now, why did I do this? Well, let me take a moment to explain. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because the purpose for this obviously is not to shoot clays. This gun is meant to basically home defense. So what I wanted to do is take a moment to say that in most circumstances, if the crap ever hits the fan, so to speak, I want my wife to be comfortable in what she's handling, whether it be a handgun, a shotgun, or whatever. And these KSGs traditionally, for what they are a little heavy. According to my wife, at least, they are. So the thought process was, as a guy, I want maximum capacity. So I obviously would put the Aguila in and load it to the max. But as a woman, weight's an issue. It's comfort. So, you know, she's not going to want to carry something around that's excessively heavy. And so my thought process was, by putting the loading the Aguila Mini shell into the KSG, that you know, that would save some weight. And you know, you're talking about 3/4 of a pound, and let me tell you, that could mean a lot to somebody like my wife. So, okay, and another note worth mentioning, I think, is that the mini shells also have less recoil. I think of them as the equivalent to a 20 gauge low brass round. So when you talk about that, that's a huge difference. And anybody who shot this gun will tell you it kicks. And from a woman's standpoint, my wife, you know, I don't want her to hate the firearm in the event she ever needs to use it. So I did make a couple modifications to mine. Of course, I have a fairly inexpensive red dot that I purchased used, that is smaller, lighter weight than a traditional like EOTech or something like that. And then I did change out the pad. I did spend the money, and I bought the Keltec extended or extra large butt pad for this firearm. Again, trying to reduce recoil as much as possible. But I really do think that there's a huge difference when you shoot this in comparison to this. And I think that that's another point worth considering. So for those of you who have a who have one of these, you know, I can't speak to all women. You know, some aren't bothered by that, but from my weight standpoint, I think that definitely if I can minimize the weight and I can minimize the kick of the firearm, then hey, it's a win-win for her and win-win for me. So I want to again thank you for watching. I want to say that without your views and your support, you know, I couldn't do this. So I ask that you please subscribe and continue to look back, watching for videos in the future. I do have some more car videos I want to do, and I want to do some more informative, kind of common sense type gun related videos as well. So again, thanks a lot, and subscribe. Driven to Compete.